I think it's Alliance maybe just they Axe synergizes well with the Dazzle, and it's something where it could be like a little pocket strategy where they try to get aggressive with an Axe. But I think if Alliance had more time to and thought about it, they'd realize that Insane Gaming would want to pick up some kind of a DPS hero.
I mean, yeah, Axe.
Bloodseeker.
Wow.
Here we
Alliance
go.
could have picked Axe to try and cut through Shallow Grave, but Bloodseeker, extra interesting, and it would be a position 1 Bloodseeker at that, as it looks like Loda will be the one to take control.
Yeah, why not?
Why? Why not, huh?
Okay.
Wow.
I can roll with this.
I can roll with it. Not the pick that I would have thought. But
hey, it's good against Rupture's good against Slack, I guess. Rupture, for those of you who don't realize, is no longer. It's now HP removal, which basically means you
go through BKB.
I mean, Slack's not really a guaranteed BKB type hero, but yeah, this is a cool little pick.
Yeah, I mean, Bloodseeker, you know, it's fascinating, guys. We just had a heated debate the other day about who is the worst hero. Merlini and I have been talking about dumpster tier versus kale tier, and you know, who actually takes the cake as the most dumpster tier hero, and Bloodseeker's name was tossed around a little bit. Who would you say is the quintessential dumpster tier hero in competitive?
I actually, for a good couple of days, I was having like a discussion about this on my Twitter, and I think the conclusion was this was pre 6.8.
Okay.
To the hero, obviously, pretty much all the dumpster tier heroes got at least a small buff, but Wraith Knight.
Wraith Knight. Interesting.
Or Wraith King.
Wraith King. Yeah, Wraith
King. He got a bit of a buff, but that was what
he was. On
that
my
was
list.
That was who I thought it was, and who most of the people who tweeted back at me said. An interesting hero that a few people said was Omni Knight.
Omni Knight, yeah, we threw his name around. Bloodseeker came up, Morphling came up. Not as the absolute worst, but he's in our tier. Huskar came up on my list of really bad.
Huskar, after getting nerfed, seems completely useless.
Yeah, Merlini's case for Huskar was at least he can do damage. At least, like, if you have him paired with like a Dazzle, he can do a lot of damage. Whereas, I think Merlini might have said, I think Spirit Breaker was the one that everyone agreed on was the worst, but
really,
yeah, that was our, at least in the BTS house we had agreed on. See, that's why this is such a good topic of conversation, because everybody has a different idea of who the worst hero is. It's such a good question. There's no good answer to it. But anyway, let's introduce these rosters here. We've got Alliance on the dire side, Admiral Bulldog or Bulldong here on the off lane playing the solo Clockwork. In the mid will be S4 playing on the Storm Spirit, and up top it will be a tri-lane Loda on the position 1 Bloodseeker. We've got EGM supporting on the Silencer, and Ake supporting on the Venomancer, all three in the top lane.
Off our Radiant team, we've got Insane Gaming, and the offlane is going to be your Nyx Assassin being played by the Captain Bignum. Solo mid's going to be Chomi playing the Puck, and then we've got our tri-lane at bottom. We've got FN playing the Slark. We've got Dazzle being played by Inquisitor, and then finally Disruptor, Aloha Dance handling him.
And it seems that Nyx Assassin here, big heart to Dina, so hopefully he can make Dina proud here in this game.
Oh, he's got a tough lane. He's been pulled a decent amount of... He's gone for a straight-up TP scroll, which is, I guess, between, like, Silencer... None of these heroes have stuns. Yeah, no stuns. So he can just TP... If he gets caught out of position horribly, he can TP out if he's not going to die.
Yeah.
You generally don't want to be in that position, because that means you're TPing home to Fountain, and you may as well die at that point.
Yeah, and that's kind of that classic pub counter to Bloodseeker. You know, oh, how do I win mid against Bloodseeker? Carry yourself a TP, because he ruptures you, and then, well, you just port home, and that's it. That's all she wrote.
Alright, well, as far as lanes go, I mean, Admiral Bulldog looking to pull the way back to his tower, Nyx Assassin trying to do the same thing, and generally Radiant offlane should have a bit of an easier time. Just the way the block works, it's generally close to your tower, but Nyx is having a much worse of it for the time being.
Yep. Awkward phrase there from the Clockwork, but yeah, Nyx is definitely struggling a bit. He's 0-0. Clockwork is at least 5-0. Nyx only about halfway into level 1, and Bulldog, he's just about to hit level 3. So there's a huge disparity in the offlaners here.
Yeah, and the supports, Insane Gaming are just kind of trying to babysit the lane a bit and just zone them out, but Alliance is pulling, stacking, getting levels. Like, you've got Veno already level 3. Aki's got a lot of farm.
Yeah, definitely. Going a little bit better for Alliance. The mid lane is pretty much a wash, as it should be in the early levels. Storm 13-2 versus the 11-3 Fairy Dragon being played by Chomi. So very very close, and that well, that makes a lot of sense, at least until level 6. There's always that small window. If Puck can hit level 6 just a little bit before Storm, you can use a Dream Coil and set up a kill before he can zip around, but that does require you to be a leg up in the lane, maybe a rotation coming your way. We see Alliance looking to set up some ganks already, perhaps, as Ake is moving around. 1-1-1 opening build here, very well-rounded.
Well,
he's able to secure a kill.
He's ventured back towards the river, so either going to head towards mid or possibly giving up on this top lane, but this is, I don't think he's, I think this is more just wishful thinking. He's just sort of wants to scope things out, sees what happened. He doesn't have to be, he can leave the pulls to EGM, so he's quite happy to just, even if there's a ward on him, he's like, well, I'm causing this Puck to be scared, I'm causing the Nyx Assassin at top to be a bit scared, and I think he also realizes if he goes for a gank from behind, it could just see an insta TP out from Nyx, which, even if you don't get the kill, it's probably still worth it.
Yeah, I mean, that creates a lot of space for Bloodseeker, and oh my legs.
S4
grab
survives too.
6 hit points. I actually didn't catch it. I was looking at the Venomancer who was going to rotate.
Yeah, that's that 6 base armor on Storm just doing work there. It really helps keep you alive, and S4 just outplaying Chomi there.
So now that'll also open up a 4-minute rune, probably going the way of S4. We see Dazzle rotating down, the zip forward, and S4 does grab it.
Okay, he uses a big chunk of mana there, but it'll kind of break even when he actually gets to use those bottle charges later on. And also having a DD rune against this Puck means Puck is probably not going to be hitting a creep for the next minute.
Yep. So definitely good news for Alliance. They already had a bit of an edge. Now mid lane is a victory, and still this off lane going reasonably well for Clockwork. How are the carries looking? Pretty even as well. 20-1 on the Slark versus the 23-10 Bloodseeker being played by Loda. I'm actually pretty curious to see how Loda builds the Bloodseeker as well. I mean, what are the core items on this hero?
I don't know if there are core items for him. Possibly like, the Band of Elven skin could just be for some fast strats, but I kind of like the phase boots on him.
Yep, there you go, Big Num just porting home.
Alright, they forced the TP out. I got like a phase into Yasha type build. I'm not sure what I don't know what exactly want to go on the Bloodseeker here, to be honest.
I mean, if you can get away with it, pulling for a Radiance is much more of a pub-style build, but if they give Loda a lot of space, I wouldn't cross it off the realm of possibilities, even though it is a bit strange.
Yeah,
I imagine that Alliance will want to be a bit more aggressive before he would have a Radiance up, though, and that's
especially
where
with
like an S and Y comes to mind.
Yeah, and S4 with already having a good start mid means Alliance can just afford to be a bit aggressive and don't have to play a passive farming game.
Structures are fortified.
Oh, TP bottom. It looks like Alliance want to defend this T1 tower. They're not going to give it up without a fight.
Yep, double damage rune still up on S4. He pops forward, long range zip straight onto a hollow dance. He does get glimpsed back, but the DD rune is enough to secure the kill. Well played by S4.
He did not calculate his mana too well there. He did not have everything he needed once he landed, but just managed to get the kill with that last Revenant.
Just barely. Very close call. I don't think he would have been able to do that without the double damage rune.
Yeah. Well, Lotus has been left top, and he can just 1v1 Nyx at this point. He doesn't need the supports in. What's Nyx going to do to him? He hasn't got really the levels or the damage here, and Loda can just last hit everything. He's got the far superior base damage here, 80 to the 57 of the Nyx Assassin.
Wow. Yeah, and Bloodseeker, he's hard to harass. You pretty much have to have enough burst to lock him down or zone him out, because harassing him is just a futile effort once he has at least a point in Bloodbath, maybe 2 points. So, not that Nyx can do too much to zone him out anyhow. Loda will be close to level 6, and probably by the end of this, the next wave or so.
Oh, he's being ganked top, though.
Uh-oh, yeah, in comes Puck. Loda's in big trouble. Dream Coil comes out. Puck has the waning rift. He's going to try to port home. Loda!
Oh, the coil break.
Oh, wow, that was a close call.
I thought it was going to live that one. But just enough.
Just barely. That coil break. So, well done. That does get a kill on the board here for Q Insane. And does give a kill to Puck, no less, which he desperately needed to make some recovery against this Storm. Looks like down bottom, though, Slark could be in some trouble. He is only level 5 right now, so no ultimate to make that getaway. Bulldog is also level 6. Into the opening, Inquisitor does scout it out, but oh, he gets hookshotted straight away. Grave comes out onto himself. They may still have enough to secure this kill. That poison from Venomancer just too much, despite the Grave. Ake will walk away, 1 kill richer. Now they are looking for a counter kill, perhaps. Nope,
yeah,
FN will not pursue.
Alliance want to just back off for a little time being. Actually, they're going to salve up. They're ready to sort of maybe poke their noses back in again. They get the last word off, and Well, a lot of damage being
Dance.
dealt with the poison on top of that with the glaze and EGM. He's committed to this.
There you go. A rocket from the Clockwork to finish him off. Nicely done. They grab themselves a kill on the Disruptor. Meanwhile, up top, Nick's in some trouble. S4 will zip up to the high ground. The Silencer Bloodseeker doing some serious work. And Nick's Assassin will fall. So there you go. That Blood Rage coming in handy. My argument for why Bloodseeker wasn't the worst hero in terms of dumpster tier.
Oh, he didn't get the curse. He almost killed the Slack there,
So
EGM.
close. But yeah, the fact that Bloodseeker has a silence at least gives him some utility, as we saw up top. Oh, speak of the devil, EGM. Puck will hop over the tree line. That one last auto attack will be enough to finish him off.
EGM was getting greedy there.
Yeah.
True to his nature. Went in for that kill really deep on Slack, and Puck easy rotation gets a counter kill, but still, I mean, not a huge loss. He's just a support silencer. It's a kill for the Puck, not a game-changing one, and not too big of a loss for Alliance.
Puck does now have power treads up, so won't be pulling for a super fast blink, but going for a little bit more of a sustained Puck, a Puck that can withstand a bit more damage and maybe have a little bit more damage as well. He is sitting level 8 with an invisibility rune on, maybe looking for an opening to gank S4, but with Puck missing for this long, S4 will just back up into the jungle, farm this hard camp. Smart heads-up play. Good game sense from the Son of Magnus. We'll just continue getting his farm. Well played.
Yeah. And, well, for the time being, I think Q-Insane are doing okay as far as holding their own. They're not getting that great a farm on their core heroes. Puck, the treads, it probably helps him stay alive a bit longer, but it means the blink gets slowed down a lot. And Nick's Assassin in the offlane is really struggling for farm. Just the 14 CS to his name. The top 3 as far as net worth goes is pretty much all on the Alliance side.
Clockwork he's tangoing with the tops, and Nyx is about half of what those top farmers are at about 1.5k compared to the 3,000 of Puck, Clockwork, and Slark. So I think that really is still the biggest disparity in this match. Storm is starting to get a little bit more momentum, about 400 up on the Puck in terms of net worth. He is level 9, and it looks like S4 will indeed be going for a pretty quick Orchid, that first Robe of the Magi, already in the inventory. So smart choice, pretty core, nothing too crazy going on here.
Yep. Well, this is where Alliance can look to move around the map. They've got the Clockwork, who's got his hook shots, and they've got a Storm Spirit as well. So they've got a great ganking lineup. Bloodseeker, another great ganker, but they also want to be careful that they don't start overextending. Diving or at least initiating into heroes like Puck, Dazzle with the Grave, and even Nyx Assassin with Carapace and Impale is very risky.
Bulldog in some trouble. He'll get caught inside of a kinetic field. Slark doing some damage, but the cogs are enough to buy him some time. Storm will join the fray and looking to finish off a hollow dance, but he gets glimpsed back. Well played by the Disruptor. Unfortunately, not enough to save the Slark. Venomancer's inbound, and yeah, Disruptor will get killed. Admiral Bulldog makes it a 2-0. Great support from
Mid lane though, S4 could be in trouble here. No, it's been caught up, but Puck doesn't have the damage to get this, even with the double damage. He's going to go zipping in for this one, S4. He gets the pull. He has the Remnant as well. Last one is there. Chomi's just straight up dead.
Wow, that's a surprising turnaround after a double damage read on the Puck. But again, good game sense from S4. He knew that he could commit to it. They had the crowd control to prevent. I mean, Puck with the double damage, he didn't even get an auto attack off after they built the tower. They had the CC to kill him.
Yeah, and that's a big swing going the way of Alliance. That was a huge chunk of gold on multiple core heroes. Lotus got his treads out now, pressuring the team on tower. There's going to be a counter kill up mid lane. It looks like S4 is going to be a bit too far for his own good, and well, he'll go down.
Yep, so that's something for Q-Insane, but this gold graph already looking a little bit unfavorable. About a 4,000 gold, 5,000 experience advantage the way of Alliance here as we approach the 12-minute mark. Well, a counter kill at least is good news, but yeah, you were talking about that net worth chart with a lot of red floating towards the top. Now it's even more top heavy, and that disparity continues to grow. Loda, the #1 farmer, he's had a lot of room, and he did go power treads into Yasha, working on that movement speed Bloodseeker.
Yeah, well, it's a nifty build, I guess. He's still struggling to do with the Nyx. Like, while those fights were going on, he actually used a Rupture at top of the Nyx. Nyx just TP's out, so this is still a lineup where their only disable is Clockwork as well as the Storm Spirit pull, and Bloodseeker often isn't with those two heroes going for kills.
And up top, there will be a rotation from Storm. First, Oblivion Staff in the inventory. Looking to set up a kill perhaps, and also down bottom, Alliance are postured around the tree line.
Oh, top lane, they've gone in on Loda.
Bulldog and HyperX ready, but oh no, Loda, he'll take a lot of damage. In comes S4. looking to set up a kill, but it's not going to happen. Dream Coil comes out. He'll zip back. Poison Touch doing a fair bit of damage. The port's up from Alliance. Bulldog looking for a hook shot and right into the creeps.
Well, Loda needs to make something happen. He bought back just for this one. He's looking for... He can rupture now, but the entire Insane team there is there. And rupturing... Bloodseeker's not really built for these 5v5 team fights.
Yep, and now they come. Admiral Bulldog in some trouble. Well played by the Disruptor to set up that kill. The Static Storm glimpse to make it happen. And they grab another kill out of it. It seems like this will be a wasted buyback from Loda, as they do not secure any kills, though. Meanwhile, Ake, as well as EGM, are pressuring this bottom tier of the tower. I don't think they'll be able to secure the kill, at least not quite
Silence,
yet.
they want to go in top.
Oh, yeah, they're going to dive the tower. Okay. And they'll find themselves a kill onto the Dazzle.
They made a beeline for Radiant's bottom tower.
Maybe onto the Disruptor as well.
Cancels the TP and goes back in. S4's just got great game sense. He knows where he can get those kills. He will pay for this one with his life, perhaps? They haven't actually got any more stuns. He Nyx is out of mana, so looks like they're going to be okay. And S4 just going to keep on chugging his way out of there. No Blink Dagger on the puck. Nyx Assassin, Arcane Boots. He's got an Impale in a second, and this S4 doesn't dodge. He's going to go down.
Yeah, Illusory Orb will be enough to finish him off.
He could have just ran up to his tower. I guess Slack was coming as well to cut him off, so yeah, it was going to be trouble regardless.
Yeah, so that was actually a decent swing of momentum for our Radiant side. I kept checking that bottom lane, thinking that they were going to push the tower, maybe some ports would come in, but it was just abandoned. Ake didn't pressure hard. He's got level 4 Plague Ward as well, so I mean, he could have done a lot more damage to this tower and probably secured the kill. A little bit surprised to see him now just rotating about towards the mid lane. He will find his way into a double damage rune, but interesting course of action from the Venomancer.
Yeah, right now Alliance is getting a lot of levels. So like their supports both level 7, level 8, and that's where I feel Alliance in a good position. You've given up a few unnecessary kills, even the buyback from Loda, which kind of sets him back as far as item progression goes, but you've still got all your heroes hitting their big 4 levels. And that's something which is going to be difficult for Insane Gaming to deal with.
And Alliance will rotate down bottom. It is a 4-man rotation. The only one not joining them right now is the Bulldog himself. He did go Tranquil Boots into Blade Mail. Sort of an interesting clockwork build. The Tranquil Boots in particular.
Oh, yeah.
Not an item we see on Rattle Trap very often.
Yeah, Alliance apparently like them. I know getting some as well. It's one of those things I think people...
Oh my. Radiant's bottom tower is forward.
Hold that thought.
Yeah, I was watching them rotating in, but they killed Clockwork before this fight even gets going. And now EGM, he's in some trouble as well. Ooh, Impale off the mark. He might be able to escape. Nope, there's a Dream Coil from Puck. Does dodge the orb. And in comes Loda as well. Rupture used on Puck, but he'll just port home. Silence now. Out on the Nyx. S4 rejoining the battle. He's got the double damage rune on. That's a kill onto the Nyx Assassin. They'll be able to clean up Ink Visitor as well. So it ends up being a 2 for 2.
FN's shown up. He has got a Shadow Blade here. I don't think he's got the damage. He misses the leap as well, and he needs to be careful. He's popped the ultimate here. He's just going to scurry his way out of there, and that's like you've just got your Shadow Blade. You think you can get a kill, and doesn't really manage to achieve a whole lot with it.
Yeah. So Alliance at least find a break even there, but not the best exchange. Bulldog just got caught with his pants around his ankles. I thought Alliance were going to be the aggressors. They were wrapping around the backside, but a great catch to see the Clockwork out of position. Yeah.
Well, things will settle for a bit from here on out. The thing I was trying to say before with the Tranquil Boots is they're actually like just really good value. Even disabled Tranquil Boots, you still get decent stats for them. You get the armor and you get more movement speed than you would normal boots, more than treads or phase boots. Obviously not during the actual phase movement speed, but so Tranquil, even if they're often disabled, are still useful. And Clockwork's a hero who'll be roaming around the map a lot, so they actually won't be disabled as much as you'd think just because he's a core hero.
Yeah, and I would say like that extra armor may be the reason why he wanted to grab it, but he went Blade Mail. So I guess against the Dazzle, he's thinking all the armor can't hurt. That could be the mindset there.
Yeah.
But still a very interesting choice on the clock. Now the bottom tier 1 tower did fall in favor of the Dire. I missed when it got taken out, but they did get that tower kill, which is good news for Alliance. They have the tower advantage, 1-0 here at the 17-minute mark. Not a lot of pushing on either side of the coin.
Alliance's draft is just, I mean, it's not a very conventional draft. It's pretty easy to come to that conclusion when there's a Bloodseeker there.
But and a Silencer for that matter.
Yeah, it can't really push towers all that well. It's okay team fight, but it's more focused on the ganking. We'll see that attempt at bottom lane, but Nyx just TP's out.
They know exactly how to deal with
They've got a
disruption.
ganking lineup that wants to be going for these single target ganks, but the problem is so few of their heroes have stuns, and now it's for a mid lane. He's going to be possibly brought down in the Disruptor ultimate, and
That's a great coordination right there. Disruptor doing some work. Well done.
Alliance is just hard to achieve objectives right now. Like ganking, pushing, both of those two things are hard for them, and they've got such a ganking lineup, ganking focused lineup, which is just struggling to find those openings.
And they will rotate towards mid once again. The hook shot off the mark. Oh no, that definitely would have been a dead dazzle. But now they will press forward. He'll just grave, and he wants to port out as well. The interrupt isn't there. No port out. Now Puck joining the fray. Double damage. Oh, pardon. He's just blue. And an overcommit from the Puck.
Yeah,
Basically just a feed there, trying to finish off ECM.
that was silly. He got so ambitious there just because he had a double damage.
Did he have a DD that expired? What happened to him?
He activated it when he went in, when he was in the middle.
Okay.
Oh, Nyx. TP is there. He's going to just go for the Carapace TP out. The Cogs will cancel it. Nicely played by Bulldog. They'll get one kill. Possibly more if Slark's not careful. Has popped the Shadow Blade as well as the Shadow Dance.
Yep, and now he's just going to move around the trees. Clockwork will shoot a rocket. Scout things out a bit, but the glimpse back. Clockwork in big trouble. He'll get pulled back into tower range. Does have the Blade Mail available. Will pop it to do a bit of return damage. Still plenty of DPS coming his way, and Disruptor secures himself yet another kill. S4 looking to find an objective. Does pressure the top tier 2 tower with the Storm Spirit.
Radiant's top
Almost at
tower
that
has been
orchid,
attacked.
but yeah, not quite there.
It feels like just a bit of a generally sloppy game so far, but getting an Orchid out for S4 will help give Alliance a lot more control and know what they can do and what they want to do. He can just go around solo killing, and that's where sure you can TP out from a lot of these heroes, but with an Orchid you've got the damage to get these kills. And
yeah, Sark just died to the up top.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, he got the Orchid. That was the Orchid timing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Delivers that, gets an immediate kill, and this is what Alliance is going to keep doing. Keep on finding these kills, and you can TP away from a Bloodseeker Rupture, but you cannot TP away from a Storm Spirit with Orchid because he just does damage too fast to you. And these heroes are all too squishy.
Yeah, and that is definitely a big turning point. It's been a weird game in terms of these ganks. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me, but I've been catching more of them on the tail end than I'd care to admit. But things still looking pretty good for Alliance. Clockwork now level 11 and is, well, not that close to his Ags, but does have the point booster up and is well on his way. About a 7,500 gold lead for Alliance, 5,000 experience, and Storm still continuing to pick up momentum. And even though this Bloodseeker hasn't been too impactful, his farm is quite good.
Radiant's middle tower is
Let's
under
see, where's
attack.
Loda going next? Just Yasha into BKB. Yeah. Nothing too out of the ordinary with those item choices.
Yeah, pretty relatively conventional carry build, and he needs the BKB against this kind of a lineup. There's a lot of disables and lockdowns, so the BKB will help him out a lot, but he hasn't been able to find that much as far as involvement. He's been in 6 of the kills, but it feels like he's just throwing out like 10 ruptures this game and very little has come from them.
Pretty much almost every disruption a rupture I've seen has just been instant TP back to the base, and more often than not it's worked out well for the team Q and Sing. They've been able to survive.
Radiant's middle tower is no more.
Force out a glyph.
They lose their mid tier 1 tower actually,
but it still goes down. Yeah, that's siege creep.
You just keep the Venomancer Plague Wards up, you just continue, like you say, siege away, and Aki's gone for that medallion, so now that the T1 mid tower's down, that's where you can start really thinking about Roshan, because Q and Sane will struggle to sort of get to that Roshan pit.
FN needs to be careful here. They pick it out, they throw down a sentry, but EGM's in big trouble. Now Nyx joining the party, and they'll be able to burst him down. And now we'll see how Q and Sane want to react to this. It looks like it will be a 5-man push into the top tier 1, and Alliance are ready to defend. Ports coming in, and Silencer will be up before too long. He actually did burn his ultimate there before he went down, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Obviously not much came out of it. Field comes down, BKB up for Loda, hook shot in, does connect with the Disruptor, pushes back to Nyx. Shallow Grave comes out, buys Disruptor a little bit of time, but Dazzle doesn't have the Grave for himself. He's the first to fall on the Radiant side. Dream Coil just to the Aqua Bulldog around the backside. Meanwhile, Disruptor gets picked off. Still not looking like the best fight for Alliance. Oh, there's the cleanup. Zip forward, and they will grab the kill on Nyx Assassin. The only one to survive is the Puck. And he does have that blade dagger up, so that's why he was able to port away.
Yeah, good use of their items as well as well, mostly it's their items there, and as well as the silencers. Loader gets the silencer, but Dazzle prevents him using Grave to keep alive the Disruptor, and well,
Yeah, he got the Grave off on Disruptor.
oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah. He
Well-
didn't have the Grave up for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was at this point having the BKB on Loader just means you can't prevent him from just going in, right-clicking away, getting off multiple Blood Rages, and well, good fight for Loader and Alliance in general. And the Storm Spirit needs to be dealt with, but he flies in last. He waits till he sees where that Static Storm is going, and you can just maneuver around it. And the Static Storm really was just used to deal with the Clockwork, and Clockwork dies, but Alliance win a team fight.
And stream just went offline. Your recording has stopped. Please check you have at least 20 MBs of free space. That shouldn't matter. Let's set to automatically save. That would be why somebody screwed up these settings. Jeez. Thought I noticed that. Alright,
We're back.
We are back once again. Plagued with technical issues today. What would be a day one premiere without some tech issues, God? Oh boy. So sorry about that, folks. That was, well, that just a silly little faux pas there. But looks like a good system initiation. Alliance in the Roach Pit. They will catch Nyx Assassin, but in comes a huge ultimate from the Disruptor. Puck follows up with a Dream Coil. You get a kill on the Venom. It will cost them their Nyx. Blackwork gets picked off, as does Puck. Out comes the Shallow Grave once again, but this BKB on Loda just doing so much work. They will secure the kill on Dazzle again. Disruptor survives, compliments to the Grave. He'll port out the safety, but a very convincing team fight for Alliance, and this should be an easy Roshan kill.
Contesting Roshan is just, I think Q-Insane feel pressured to try and do something and make something happen, but Alliance are just getting too far ahead with their item pickups. They're going to have a BKB on S4 momentarily. He's just maybe 700-800 gold away from that. You've got just, it's just going to become too tough with these next couple of pickups. Lotus got himself 2.5k gold. Aki can get the team a mech if he wants to soon, halfway to a mech. And you've got Silencer, who's got the urn charges, keeping everyone healed up in between these small skirmishes.
Double damage.
And the gold graph is reflecting pretty much all of that. Loaded now with an ultimate orb. Interesting.
Manta Style, I guess, is coming up.
Yeah.
It's a good way to like dispel a Puck silence and I guess just create even more confusion and just havoc in these team fights.
Yeah. You know, I also want to say I'm a little bit disappointed by how standard this Bloodseeker build is. You know, he's such a sort of off-the-wall pick, and Loda's just keeping it steady, doing very normal things, which is definitely good. Smart choices, but I was hoping to see maybe some sort of a crazy item build for a crazy hero. Wishful thinking,
At least something like a Shadow Blade.
Shadow Blade, that could be interesting, yeah. So,
that's a pub build if I've ever heard one. Shadow Blade Bloodseeker.
That's for sure. EGM could be in some trouble here, though. The Shadow-Bladed Slark looking for an opening, but he's tier 1. All of the tier 1 towers still standing for Alliance, so that's really limiting Slark's mobility with his invisibility.
EGM hasn't got it. EGM has not got a Shadow Blade. That's when you know things are not going as well as Alliance would like. EGM needs his Shadow Blade. We saw a Shadow Blade Bane earlier today. I want to see a Shadow Blade Silencer.
Yep.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
It looks like Alliance is just going to trade here. They'll give up their tier 1 top, they'll take the pressure at bottom lane and just keep on going, and they're going to force Insane to come back and defense. Manta Style up on Bloodseeker with the Aegis on Storm, they can take this Spider Lines really easily.
And S4 hops forward, they catch the Disruptor, hook shot from close range as well. That's an easy kill to get things started. Glyph has already been popped, not the best timing from the Radiant side either. Puck hops forward, takes some return damage. Now Dazzle's in trouble as he gets silenced, and they'll be able to drop the Shadow Priest. Now they'll get a kill on the Puck as well. Oh no, Q-Insane just bursting at the seams here. Only 2 left alive. Slark is the lone defender alongside his buddy Nyx Assassin. Slark making it back to the well, a few more auto attacks. EGM going in to finish him off, but just doesn't have the damage. Meanwhile, the rest of his team doing some work on this tier 3 tower. Puck will buy back, looking to do some cleanup here as a lot of low health heroes are inbound for Alliance. S4 going pure man mode, secures a kill on the Nyx Assassin. Does pop his Aegis, so he'll come back full health, full mana. Exactly what a Storm is looking for in a scenario such as that. And Alliance will back up. They're not going to press the issue. They force another buyback, one out of Nyx this time. So a very successful team fight. 2 buybacks, half damage on the tier 3 tower and the Glyph. Alliance will take it.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic fight for Alliance. The Slark's still fishing for more, though. He's going to at least scout things out here in the jungle, realizes there's a few too many, and S4 with full mana, full HP, you do not want to mess with him, especially if you don't time that Dark Pact to get rid of the Orchid. You just straight up die to this Storm. So Storm may actually go hunting here. He can kill this Slark on his own if he gets the Orchid off.
He's looking around for it. His BKB coming up right as we're speaking as well. So in case he overcommits, gets into a sticky position, it'll be okay to make an escape, but there you have it. Free kill on the Slark.
Yeah. You can't Dark Pack that. You casting the Orchid mid-flight, and there's no way to react that fast, so... End of the day, Slark should not have been farming there, because he'd scouted the Storm in his jungle. He knew Storm was nearby.
Yeah.
And he showed himself to the creep wave. So he knows Storm's nearby, he knows Storm can see him, and yet he's still hung around.
Hook shot onto the Dazzle here as he tries to port out. Silence from the Bloodseeker. He will use the mech, but Ink Visitor has just got nowhere to go. Another easy kill for Alliance. At this point, I think our Radiant side just getting picked apart. Looking at the gold graph, 14,000. And as I'm looking at the gold graph, S4 adds another one to the board. He's just soloing the world here. He will get glimpsed back, BKB on. He will be forced to make a retreat. I don't think he can solo the Disruptor right now.
He can survive at least.
Yep, but he can survive, so that's something.
That was his main thing there. Get out of there. Don't give a kill to the Disruptor. I mean, sure, it's his support here, but it's a decent chunk of gold. He's on a... he's just getting started with a streak, I believe, now, so... Well, we'll see Alliance take a... Oh, see, I thought that was another tower they're taking. They just denied the bottom tier 1 tower. Looks like they're trying to take this top tier 2 and Loader with the Blood Rage on himself to be able to bring this down.
Yeah, he's starting to hit pretty darn hard. Looks like he's working towards a butterfly. And gosh, man. Not catch a break with these kills here. Slark will pick off Silencer in the mid lane. And Bulldog. What's on the courier? I feel like he should have his Ags now. Yep, there it is. Bulldog will have his Ags complete in just a moment.
And S4 is going to have a Bloodstone in the next minute or two. This is a very rich Storm.
Yeah, that worth about 14k at the 29-minute mark. That's pretty darn good. He is way ahead of the leading farmer of Q Insane, who is Slark. And even Slark's farm, not really that great right now. Shadow Blade into a BKB. Not bad, but not so great either.
Well, I feel for Q Insane. They need to make something happen. They need to look to move out. Use Vendetta. They've got Vendetta, Nyx Assassin. They've got a Shadow Blade on the Slark as well as a BKB now. And this to me is, they've got to at least get aggressive. They just sit back, let Alliance farm, take control of the map. They're going to lose. And they're going to see Alliance. S4 jumps in the mid lane, pops a BKB even. Just straight little puck. Here is a grave though. He changes target now. Says if you're going to grave him, I'll go for the Dazzle instead and puck.
Yep.
Oh, he still dies
to the Venom.
Yeah.
Yep. Glimpse back though. Will push the Clockwork back, well, where he came from before the hook shot.
There's still a global silence if Alliance want to try and commit to this fight too.
And you mentioned in the picking phase how good the poison is from Veno to try and counteract the efforts of Dazzle's Shallow Grave, and right there, point in case. Hook shot in now, right onto Big Num. They'll push him closer to the enemies. Push him towards his teammates, so to speak. And Nyx may survive. Bulldog actually taking a lot of damage here as Slark does pop his BKB. They do get the kill on Clockwork, but they also do commit for the kill on Nyx Assassin. Now Storm just going ham, finishes off the Dazzle as well as the Disruptor. Slark will be cleaned up top as well. It ends up being a 1 for 5. I think Alliance are moments from securing a victory here.
It's not fun playing Slark against Bloodseeker. It is tough, and now, I mean, it's one of those few new scenarios where Bloodseeker can maybe be justified in competitive total up against Slark, completely negating that ulti passive when you kind of can regen and fog. If you're below half HP, you're not getting that HP regen ever because you're never in fog.
That's a really good point. Bloodseeker is kind of just a counter pick to Slark when you break it down that way.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Oh, maybe Bloodseeker's not as bad as we were giving him credit for. He's got at least a little utility under his belt.
If the only time you pick him is against Slark, you're pushing it a bit. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see Alliance. They get the mid-racks in 32 minutes into the game. Pick up a Lincoln Sphere now as well on a support Venomancer. That's a scary thought.
Yeah, definitely, and it looks like...
okay, this is for the Glimpse, I guess, the Lincolns. There's not a whole lot you're really blocking, but yeah, I think the Glimpse is the main thing.
Yeah, you've got Glimpse, Poison Touch, that's kind of about it. Impale. Dazzle. Speaking of Devil, he's in big trouble here. He'll get picked off by the Storm Spear. Disruptor also going to fall in the mix. But from this, the Nyx Assassin, Puck actually will hop in, connects with a Dream Coil, but there's just no follow-up damage. They won't even break the tether. Mid lane of Frax have fallen. All the outer towers are down. Taking a gander at the gold graph, about 25,000 gold and experience, going the way of Alliance. Can't say I'm too surprised.
Don't miss it. Oh, he gets the silence.
Puck is just so squishy now.
Yeah,
Look at Puck's item progression. He's got nothing after the Blink Dagger, and he had that like 20 minutes ago.
All this silence is just such a pain. The Blood Rage from the Bloodseeker, the Silencer, Last Word, as well as Global Silence, and then you've got the Orchid on the Storm. 3 heroes who just can hard counter him kind of with silencers.
Yep. So now Alliance will just work on the top tier 3 tower. Top racks exposed. No glyph available for the Insane Gaming lineup. I think we're really at that point. Maybe one last hurrah, maybe a Hail Mary, but Alliance are just in complete control.
Yeah, I think that the Hail Mary is all they've got left. Is go for a big, just high-risk play, and they're going to get a pick up here to start things off on the Silencer. They want Aki as well. Aki's on the front line. Poison Nova and absolutely everyone. Esco's got a BKB up, so he doesn't care about the Standard Storm. It looks like he'll get at least one here. He brings down the Dazzle to start things off. The Disrupts are going to go down next, and there was a glimpse back here. Lotus going to finally show up, and this is probably the end for Q Insane, at least for this team.
Well, they will get a kill on the Storm, so they're finding a couple of kills here. Nyx Assassin falls, the Dire Courier gets picked off as well. Puck will phase shift, and he'll be able to blink away. Bloodseeker trying to finish off Slark, he'll do it. Me looking for another escape, hops into the trees.
They see him.
Ooh, there you go. Strange hook shot, so Alliance still kind of a sloppy team fight, but obviously they do come out the victors, and there you go, the GG well played. Team Q Insane, well, they give Alliance a good run for their money here. Not a bad showing, 23-42 after 34 minutes of gameplay. Not too bad, as we were talking about, these lesser-known teams still showing that they can tango with the best, you know, give them a game. You're not one of those 12-minute